The daunting conversation she has with herself that pulls her shadows to the light are the conversations that will guide her through the fiery thoughts invading her mind at night. We're going to step into the peculiar home and mind of Gazelle Mone't, a unique individual who prefers her time alone and tucked away. But what happens when she wants a companion? Aristotle once said, whoever is delighted in solitude is either a wild beast or a god, or both.
Currently in this perpetual state of productivity and it's masked as excellent work ethic. Marketed as a grind. Why do you go so hard? Because otherwise I'll die. And it's strange that I keep going because death was my first choice. And trust me, I've tried it plenty of times in a plethora of ways. It's simply not the option. But if I were to accept that fate, it'd be slow and painful because I really don't have the guts to make it quick. That sudden of a decision even after years of contemplation and attempts, and I still can't do it. I just quit and watch the world around me fall apart. Slowly. But I guess I don't do that because I'm certainly not equipped for that type of pain either. I'd just be living in a hell inside of a hell, and I'm not interested in that, quite frankly. So, what are you going to do? How do I get out of these intrusive thoughts? How do I make the world stop so I can finally rest? Rest that doesn't jolt me out of my sleep at 5 a.m. every single morning because I have an email to check, a notification to see. Hold up. Wait a minute. The problem might be me. I mean, besides the world that we live in that says we must work until we die, stay woke and barely rested if not you're lazy, and have done nothing good with your life. Hold up. Wait. Now, don't go gaslighting yourself, acting like poverty, struggle, insanity, and everything that comes with being a black woman in the United States is the fault of yours created by you. I mean, maybe you had a little to do with it somewhere along the line, but you certainly are not the root. Imagine being afraid to be perceived as lazy when you simply need rest. So, the only logical thing to do is uproot myself and go to soil that's actually healthy and fertile, where life can grow outside of the stagnant energy that seems to be surrounding me. Now, don't forget about them cranes in the sky. What, you're gonna just run away to a new city? Yep. Then what? Well, I don't know. But I do know that this energy here ain't for me, and I can't even attempt to pour into another cup when my cup has been poured over my head and I'm drenched and heavy. So, I ran away from it all just like I said. And this is a part of me that I'm starting to dread. I want a man. I guess instead I want a delusion. 'Cause in this climate, you ain't getting no man. I mean, you can, but then what? Yeah, you can finally relax, sure. Manifest a man with money so you never have to work again. But now there's this stench that always lingers, and it smells like giving someone the option to starve me for relying on them for food. That's not even a comfort zone, that's a refugee camp. It's not a permanent solution. These niggas are not my shelter, they're pollution. A liability for my future. Didn't I tell you about them cranes in the sky? You're gonna fuck it away, travel it away. You're gonna go to Tulum and solve that deep-seated depression with a Reiki session. I mean, it can help ya. But that's just another void you're diving into. It's a cenote's hill, but baby, you can't swim good. But that's okay, because as above, so below. I don't mind diving deep and sinking in order to understand what it's like to resurface brand new. Cleansed, tired, drenched. But guess what? I've come back up with a well on my shoulders filled with enough water for me and my people to drink from. Ain't no man gonna do that for me. That's my responsibility. So, while I naturally dread certain parts of the process, I thrive in my gratitude that I'm even strong enough to be the chosen one. I give thanks to my God for giving me the ability of hindsight and the ability to see my destination not only tomorrow, next week, next month, and next year, but into the next 50 years and beyond the decaying of my vessel. My ancestors are resting for me while I work to create a better foundation for everyone else's rest in this realm. I will not dwell in the pain of the process, but I will feel it wholeheartedly and admire the muscles of my spirit, the fruit of my labor, and the strength of my heart. And that is when I'll be strong enough to uphold love for romance. The curses placed upon my bloodline are barriers that can be broken through these shadows. If I decide to stop at the barrier for romance and for sex, then I have failed with distractions. Notice how after every love I have to start over. Notice how barriers are ignored because I've enmeshed with another, forgetting my true mission. There is no freedom in these romances before you've reached the true destination. They are boxes designed to make me believe that I can rest as long as a man is beside me. I've been conditioned to believe not only by the media, but by familiar curses passed down through my family. Have you noticed the patterns? The divine essence of a family structure is not only based on the comfort of another's presence, sex, compassion, or other feelings. Love is a currency that can afford the assets that can uphold and create sovereignty for the next generation that you've created with another. Now, this is not to say that you will never find love, or that you have to work for love, or that love is not there. You are love. Remember that. You are love. I want you to listen to the patterns of your ancestors and restructure that route to love, that route to who you are inside, and to truly understand what makes it deeper than just a feeling. This is the love that will unbind curses and cure your bloodline of the brainwashing subdued upon you. The closer you step into yourself, whether it be blindly or with guidance, the closer you are to God. And God is the love that will uphold the foundation of your family for generations to come. In the end, all those private conversations with God will be documented in your DNA for your children to inherit, not only in tangible love, but in love that will bind you all closer to God. The spiritual wars so often spoken of are wars that attempt to demolish your path, staring you into loveless casual sex, exhausting relationships with succubi, loveless marriages, and children that are a blessing but still a liability. Can you hear me yet? I know, it sounds harsh, but I am just a messenger. I've experienced it through lifetimes of constant mistakes of my family, and I am here to change that. I'm here to build a life that I can stand tall on even in the astrals, even when I die. The sacrifices I make now will fruit all of the trees that grow when I am long gone. The memories of the atrocities will finally be so healed that my offspring will never have to feel what I have felt or what our ancestors have felt. So, this perpetual state of productivity is excellent work ethic, but not decided by the hands of false masters, but decided at the hands of every spirit that loves me and sees me through the same eyes as God. Sometimes solitude is being like the moon and knowing when to hide. Sometimes solitude is being like the roots of a tree where your growth goes unseen but undenied. Sometimes solitude is being like the tide, heard, seen, felt but unknown unless you found someone worthy enough to dive. Thrive in this ocean of you. Thrive.